Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Petite Coding. So last time we refactored a lot of things from this code. We refactored the test code, and we refactored the production code, and we also added this comment here. I want to just go one more step with the requirements, and let's see. Tank emblem, October 27, 2019 at 3 a.m. Okay, so let's just add a test for that. So test get current emblem. Manage this test when date is October 24, 2019. Time zone GMT -5 at 300 should return tank. After the marksman, we had that it should be tank, right? Okay. And now we see how easy it is to get this test. So I'm just going to say let emblem equals make SUT for day. This is day. Yes, I'm sorry. I should write this. Yeah. So I messed up. I'm not going to edit this. I messed up, but doesn't matter. Let's go before this and I'll get it here. It's not 24. It would be 20. Yeah, 24. 20. It's not 24. It's 27 actually. So you have to always look at your requirements, and yeah, you will make mistakes like I did. Okay, so no worries. Just fix them on the way. That's why we're testing. And this is for day 27. Since we have the same date, October, this is still the same because it's the same month and the same hour, so it doesn't matter yet. But we will get there. Don't panic. And then I'll say assert not nil. My emblem should be not nil, and the assert equal. My emblem should say now tank, and this should fail. Command U. And the test fails because it's returning marksman, because as default is returning marksman, and it should be a tank, right? Okay, so for this to work, I'll need to say, first of all, so I'll need to return tank as an optional, but let's say let marksman base date. So my marksman base date is self.getDate 24. This is date 24, right? We're seeing something here. And then if marksman's base dates equals date, then I'll return my marksman emblem. So I'm just cutting and pasting. Otherwise, I'll return tank. Okay, command U. And my test is now passing. Okay, so we added tank, and the next thing we have to do when we have a passing test is commit. So added test for tank emblem. Commit to files and push, and this will push to my repository. Okay, so now it's getting this. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so another thing, as the test gets more specific, the code must get more generic. And as you can see, we're having something like here that is probably will get in an algorithm. You see, this is 18, this is 21, 24, and this actually is 27. but we don't know that yet. So what I want to do now is make this code more generic, and I want to do that by adding the dates. Okay, so just let me see what I can do here. Okay, so there's a way to add these dates, and let's just add them. Let's refactor the code. We're in a green state. Let's refactor and see what we can do. So I need a calendar here, and this is calendar.current. That's how we get this. Okay, and the base date is the same. That's the base date. Now for this one, as you can see, it was 18, right? And 18 to 21, I just need to add 3. That's it, right? So there's a function in this calendar that says date by adding calendar component, and my calendar component is a day, and the value is 3, and the date is this base date. And something that I need to do this here is to force unwrap this, because okay, so let's see the error that I'm having. The error says value of optional type date must be unwrapped, the value of date. So right now I actually don't like this, but it will suffice for now. And then we can create a test for this, because I really don't like to have these optionals. Sometimes it crashes application. Right now it's going to work, since this is always given this, but we have to check that this never returns this nil. Right now it does, so sometimes it could return a nil value, but I don't want that. But I'll do that in a later video, since right now we're dealing with the other part of the test. Now, as you can see, I'm adding day here, and I'm pressing Command U, and the tests are passing. So that's correct, right? And then let's see, 24. This is not going to be 3, but it's going to be 6. You see, 18 plus 6, 24. You see that? So I say calendar the date by adding a calendar component that is a day, and the value now is not 3, it's 6. Today, this base date, and I have to force unwrap it. As you can see, the tests are passing. So I'm incrementing by 3. Now we need to do something smart here. So we need to make this code a little bit more generic. Okay, so that's our challenge here. Okay, so for making this code a little bit more generic, what I want to do is put these variables in here. So instead of support base date, I'm going to say if calendar the date. I'm going to put this over here, right? Okay. So I'm adding a date here, 3. So this support date is no longer needed. Command U. The tests are still passing. Then I'm going to do this with this one. Calendar date for the marksman base date. This is 6. I'm going to Command U this one. I don't know. I no longer need this here. Is the base date equals the date, then it's fighter, calendar, base date, and I can do this now. Calendar dot date by adding a day. The value now is going to be 9 to the date base date. And the base date, now I'm returning tank. Otherwise, I will return empty. And I'm going to comment you this. Yeah, I'm not comparing anything. There we go. There we don't go. Oh, I'm sorry. This is base date. And then I'm comparing this to the date. Okay. Yeah, this is what I don't like, but let's just keep it up. And the tests are passing. Okay, so as you can see, we have a lot of ifs. Adding day 3, adding day 6, adding day 9. So we have to make the code more generic. So still, if I want to keep the same code here, I'm going to see it like this, right? I'm going to copy this, and instead of 3, I'm going to say 0 here to my base date. And this should still pass. And I'm getting the algorithm that I'm adding all the time 3 to this value, right? Let's just put this in an array, just because that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking we will need an array of emblems, and here we have a fighter, then we have a support, then we have a marksman, then we have a tank, right? And as you can see, okay, yeah, this is the emblems, and the emblems are not returning nothing. Okay, so just a warning, it's not being used. Okay, you can see here when the day is 0, we're going to return this emblem, these emblems, and I'm going to return the zero index. You see, Command U. Let's start passing. For support, I'm going to return emblems. I'm going to return the second one since it's a support. The tests are passing. I'm still refactoring, okay? Emblems. I'm making the code little by little more generic. Emblems 2. The tests are still passing, and emblems. This should be the third position of the array. Okay. So what do we notice here? So first of all, the value here is actually this 0 times 0 here. It's actually 0 times 3. You're gonna see why it's 0 times 3. And this will still pass. Now this one will be 1 times 3. And this will still pass. And this will be 2 times 3. 6 is 2 times 3. And this will still pass. And this one will be 3 times 3. And this will still pass. So, as you can see, we're making the code more generic. And my tests are still passing. And I'm figuring out the algorithm that's being displayed here. Okay, so what I did was I moved this LED calendar over here. That was here at the top to the bottom here. I'm Command U. The tests are still passing. I want to refactor this in order to get this great. Since these are all returns, returns. I want to use this as in a function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get all of this return statements, and okay, sorry, I'm gonna get all of this, refactor, extract method, and then I'm going to say this calculate calculate emblem. What I'm returning? Return calculate emblem. I'm going to comment you this. This test should still pass. Okay. And now here, okay, now I'm focusing here to calculate emblem from the base date and the date. So I want to do a for each here, but so let me just see. This is being added by one by one by one. So it should work. I don't know why it didn't work. Okay, emblem index equals 0. Okay. Then for each emblem in emblems, okay, I'm going to say this. If calendar the day, this is my emblem index, right? Emblem index, then emblem index, return in my emblem index. Okay, that's what I'm doing, right? I'm adding it here. So this still passes because I'm still having this. If I erase this, still passes. So for the fighter, it still passes. Let's see for the marksman. Okay, for the support, it's not passing. Oh, it's not passing because I didn't do this emblem index. I'm going to add 1, right? And this should be a var. And now it's passing, you see? For the support is passing. It should pass for the other one also, for this one. It should pass now. So it's passing by that one, and I'm erasing this one. And it should be passing for this one. Okay, so I'll leave this with a return of empty. A return of empty for this one now. As you can see, I just refactored it to this calculate emblem, and I wanted to refactor this because I wanted to get that emblem from here and return it on the for each. So as you can see, now I have two functions with more or less the same structure. And right now, the emblems are working and the code is more generic. Now, let's see. Immutable emblem. Okay, so since I'm never using that emblem, I can say for each emblem just do this. And this will still pass. Okay, now I refactor the code. The code is more generic, and now I should commit it. So I'm committing the code, making code more generic in order to get the current emblem. I'm committing and pushing, and the tests are passing. So this is great. I'm gonna finish this video with adding one more test. Since it's more generic, it's going to be easier. So I'm gonna demonstrate that, and then we'll continue next week with some lessons. So test. I'm creating a test here. I'm sorry, test get current emblem when date is, let's see what I have date. Oh, it's October 30. Okay, let's do that. October 30 when date is October 30, 2019, time zone, GMT minus 5, at 300, should return jungle, I think it was. Let's see again. October 30, jungle emblem. Should return jungle. So let emblem equals make SUT. Since we have a day, this is the 30 day. I'm going to not assert this, that emblem is not nil, and I'm going to say that the emblem should be, the emblem should be jungle emblem. Now let's see what happens. The test is failing. Why it's failing? Because it's returning, it's not getting through here, it's not getting the dates, not getting anywhere here. But look at this. Now since my code is refactored and I have now put in an array and everything like this, because the code must be, as the test gets more specific, the code gets more generic. I'm going to add this jungle item here, Command U, and the tests are passing. How awesome is that? This means the algorithm is working, you see? So this is very awesome. So what we did now, what we did in this lesson was to refactor the code, but this time we made the code more generic. And as you can see, TDD gives us the algorithm. We just have to be a little bit smart on how to do this and see how it's getting this. Okay, next video, what I want to do is I want to get rid of this. Okay, so because this an optional string, this base date, I really don't like this. It's not a good practice to have it like this production code. So we'll take a look at that next video, and hopefully we can take a look on how to refactor more, because we're now in that stage. So let's just finish this video by committing, and what I'm going to say is added jungle emblem on the current, added jungle emblem to the tests. I'm committing to files and pushing them. And that's it. Okay, thanks for watching and see you next time.